This is Atlantic Television Network. Welcome to Global News at 9 p.m. First, the highlights. Police investigate Nubari over planned protests in Rivers State. Tinubu appoints nominees for NCDMB Governing Council. Reps move to create office of Prime Minister. Petro commends Port Harcourt refinery operations. U.S. condemns killings of soldiers in Lake Chad Basin. CAF urges Egypt to host 2025 Under-20 AFCON, and rapper Odumodu Black urges Davido on upcoming album. And now to the rest of our stories. Rivers State Police Command has invited Mr. Nubari Sata, President of the Niger Delta Congress, for questioning at the State Criminal Investigation Department over the persistent calls for public protests within Rivers State. The police said a clarification follows its responsibility to ensure public safety on the nature and objectives of the planned demonstrations. A statement signed by the police public relations officer, SP Grace Iringe Koko, said while the command recognizes and upholds the fundamental right to peaceful assembly, it remains vigilant to the potential security risks that could rise from such gatherings, stressing that public protests, if not properly managed, can escalate into unrest as well as create opportunities for mischief makers or individuals with ulterior motives to instigate violence, disrupt public order, and endanger lives and property. The statement also said in such instances, the organizers would be held accountable for any breakdown of law and order, adding that after the questioning of Mr. Sata by the state CID, he was released and permitted to leave. The Rivers State Police Command urges all residents and stakeholders in the state to continue to uphold peace and stability, recognizing that staff security is in the best interest of all, stressing that the command remains unwavering in its commitments to protecting lives and property while ensuring strict enforcement of law and order. The police equally warn individuals of all groups that anyone found engaging in activities capable of disrupting public peace will be dealt with in accordance with the law, and strongly advise mischief makers to refrain from any actions that could undermine the prevailing peace in the state. River State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, has suspended political appointees and office holders in the state with immediate effect. A statement by the Chief of Staff to the Administrator said the decision was made under the powers granted to Ibas by President Bola Tinubu, and those affected include the Secretary to the State Government, the Chief of Staff, all commissioners, as well as chairpersons and members of boards, agencies, commissions, and parastatals, including all special advisors, special assistants, and senior special assistants. This is coming after Ibas was sworn in as sole administrator on Wednesday, March 19, by President Bola Tinubu after the president declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, while presidents also suspended Governor Siminalayi Fugbara, his deputy, Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the Rivers State House of Assembly for an initial period of 6 months. Ibas, who is the former chief of naval staff, vowed to maintain law and order in the state and also promised to work together with other stakeholders to ensure that order is restored in the state. Stakeholders of Ifa Ikot Akpan Etoi village in Uyo local government area of Akwa Ibom State have petitioned the Commissioner of Police Baba Mohammed Azare, urging him to investigate the arrest and detention of residents by officers of trumped-up allegations. In the petition, which was written through their lawyer Ubong Peters Esquire in Uyo, the petitioners lamented that specific individuals in the community have been giving wrong information to police officers, leading to the arrest and detention of targeted persons under false claims, and urged the commissioner to take immediate action on the matter to avoid a possible backlash that could lead to the breakdown of law and order in a peaceful community. The petitioners accuse one Roland Etim Ben and his group of confusing the community by using the police negatively to arrest and detain perceived enemies, adding that upon his release from custody, he allegedly connived with his team and laid a false complaint against the aggrieved stakeholders, leading to the arrest and indefinite detention by the police. They further alleged that Ben's action amounted to contempt of a court, as the state high court sitting in SN Udim local government area had granted an injunction restraining him and his members from using the police to arrest and detain anyone in the community. Reacting to the allegations, Roland Ben described his accusers as fraudsters who have been perpetrating evil in the village, emphasizing that they were the ones antagonizing and terrorizing him in the community. The Commissioner of Police, CP Baba Mohammed Azare, when contacted, said the court injunction is a temporary relief, adding that whenever a suspect went to a court and got an injunction, police would work towards vacating such order and getting the person arrested. 2 persons were killed while 11 others sustained serious injuries in an explosion that occurred at Inner Galaxy gas plant in Asa Ukwa West local government area of Abia State. The explosion occurred around 9 a.m. while customers were being attended to at the facility, according to a community source who said the gas plant is owned by a Chinese company. Meanwhile, the executive chairman of Ukwa West local government area, DK Nwankwo, has visited the scene of the blast and evacuated the injured victims to a hospital in Port Harcourt, River State, for prompt treatment through emergency service. Nwankwo expressed deep condolences to the bereaved families and assured that the council remains committed to monitoring developments and enforcing necessary safety reviews at the facility. The local government chairman, who ordered thorough investigation into the explosion, further stressed the need for strict adherence to safety protocols by the management of Inner Galaxy to prevent future occurrences. Confirming the development, the spokesperson of Abia State Police Command, DSP Maureen Chinaka, said the incident was reported to Obehe Divisional Headquarters by the CSO of Inner Galaxy, while the blast occurred when a gas cylinder slips from the hand of a customer and hits the ground before exploding. Chinaka said injured victims are presently responding to treatment in the hospital in Port Harcourt, and the police have visited the scene and commenced investigation. Kidnapped parish priest of the Holy Family Catholic Church, Izumbe, in Imo State, Reverend Father John Obechu, has been released. A statement by the Owerri Diocese, Archdiocese Chancellor and Secretary, Reverend Father Patrick Mbara, early Thursday morning, said Obechu was released on Wednesday. This is coming after the clergyman was kidnapped in the evening of Sunday, March 2023, at Ejemekuru on his way to Owerri for the annual retreat of priests of the Owerri Archdiocese. While the kidnappers had demanded a 20 million naira ransom for the release of the priest. However, Mbara, in the statement announcing the release of his colleague, was cited the details concerning Obechu's freedom from captivity. Newly posted Commissioner of Police for Yobe State Command, CP Emmanuel Ado, has pledged his commitment to provide adequate security for residents in the state. He disclosed this on assumption of duty at the State Police Headquarters in Damaturu and was accorded a guard of honor and subsequently conducted an inspection of the guard as part of the ceremony. CP Ado, an indigene of Niger State, takes the reins as part of the recent deployment of 38 commissioners of police to various state commands and police formations across the country. Ado stressed on the importance of addressing security challenges and prioritizing personnel welfare to boost morale, and also acknowledged the guidance of Inspector General Police Kayode, who has stressed the need for community policing, transparency, and accountability. Ado also said, in line with the IGP's vision, his administration will prioritize trust building with local communities, strengthening community policing initiatives, and ensuring officers are approachable, responsive, and committed to protecting human rights, and also pledged to intensify efforts to combat crime and insecurity through intelligence-driven policing and collaboration with other security agencies. Borno State Police Command has arrested 3 suspects, including a security guard, for allegedly stealing 19 sewing machine heads from the Dala Lawanti Skills Acquisition Center in Maiduguri. According to the police public relations officer, ASP Nahum Kenneth Daso, the suspects, along with 2 teenagers, were involved in the theft, adding that so far 6 of the stolen sewing machine heads have been recovered, while efforts are ongoing to retrieve the remaining items. The suspects will face legal proceedings once the investigation is concluded. The Dala Lawanti Skills Acquisition Center is a vocational training initiative aimed at empowering youth and women through skill development. Reaffirming its commitment to maintaining security, the Borno State Police Command urged residents to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activities to authorities. President Bola Tinubu has received his Ghanaian counterpart John Mahama at his official residence in the State House, Abuja. Mahama's visit to Nigeria is his first official visit since his inauguration on January 7, 2025. Both leaders are expected to focus on strengthening diplomatic ties between Nigeria and Ghana in areas of cooperation in trade and security, and discussing key regional issues within the economic community of West African states. Shortly after winning the presidential election in December 2024, Tinubu visited Mahama in Accra to congratulate him on becoming Ghana's president. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday, 29th March 2025, clock 73 years of age, and has scheduled a special prayer session for the president on Friday at the National Mosque in Abuja. A statement by Bayo Onanuga, special advisor to the president on information and strategy, on Thursday said the president will use the occasion to thank God for preserving and supporting him in the onerous task of piloting the nation's affairs. The president invites the public to join the prayer session in spirit by offering prayers at their places of worship or wherever they may be, reinforcing the nationwide commitment to unity and shared destiny, and expresses profound gratitude to Nigerians for their unwavering support and goodwill as his administration works tirelessly to advance economic reforms, strengthen national security, and expand opportunities for all citizens. The president reaffirms his commitment to consolidating democratic gains, fostering economic recovery, and promoting national cohesion, as well as encouraging citizens to remain steadfast in believing in Nigeria's destiny as a beacon of hope in Africa. President Bola Tinubu has approved the nomination of 4 new members to the Governing Council of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. A statement on Thursday, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, said the appointment is to fill existing vacancies and strengthen the board's capacity. The statement said the approved nominees are Mr. Olusegun Omesehin of the National Insurance Commission and Engineer Wole Ogunsayan of the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, as well as Sam Onyechi, who represent the Nigerian Content Consultative Forum, and Barrister Owe Onabo Oyambo from the Ministry of Petroleum Resources. The president encouraged the new members to leverage their expertise and dedication to enhance local content development within Nigeria's oil and gas industry, adding that the NCDMB Governing Council was established under Section 69 of the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act 2010, comprising representatives from key institutions. The institution includes the Ministry of Petroleum Resources, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, as well as the Petroleum Technology Association of Nigeria, the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, the Nigerian Content Consultative Forum, and the National Insurance Commission. Vice President Kashim Shettima says the federal government is working to establish a sustainable land administration system in the country. Shettima, represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Hadejia, who disclosed this at a 3-day National Land Conference 2025 in Abuja on the conference with the theme Reforming Land Governance for Sustainable Development in Nigeria, was organized by the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPSS, in collaboration with John Bull Amayevo Foundation. The Vice President said the Land Use Act of 1978 had been the legal and policy framework for land ownership, management, and administration in Nigeria, adding that although the Act has significantly shaped land administration and management in Nigeria, it has also contributed to systemic challenges that must now be addressed. Shettima said in line with the current administration, the federal government had inaugurated 4 reform task teams in January 2024 to develop a strategic blueprint for implementing reforms aimed at streamlining land administration and ensuring easy, cost-effective, and efficient access to land in Nigeria. He also said the current administration was committed to the idea of the National Land Commission and are taking major steps towards its realization by drafting an executive bill for its creation before the National Assembly. Southeast caucus in the Senate have called on President Bola Tinubu to immortalize the achievement and lifetime of the chairman of the defunct National Electoral Commission, late Professor Humphrey Nwosu. The senator representing Abia South, Senator Eyinaya Abaribe, had earlier brought before the Senate a motion which failed to immortalize Professor Nwosu, who conducted the annulled June 12, 1992 elections during the military era. The motion with prayers that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, headquarters be named after the late NEC chairman and to give late Humphrey Nwosu a national honor by Mr. President. After a fierce debate, some of the senators were of the opinion that late Professor Nwosu failed to declare the winners of the June 12, 1992 elections in his entire lifetime, hence he did not deserve the national honor.
We're really in pain because nobody is able to quote where Professor Nwosu announce the results. It is his failure to announce the result, whether under threat or other whatever forces that prevented him from so doing, that Nigerians were unable to say that he was declared the winner. In fact, I was active in that struggle. When we met with the late General Sani Abacha, he said the reason he decided to order detention of MKO Abiola was that MKO Abiola proclaimed himself as the winner of the election and therefore as president. It was on that basis Abiola was arrested and he died in detention. If Professor Wosu had the courage, I emphasize courage as is being suggested here, to announce the winner and damn the consequences. After all, he who is not ready to die for something will end up dying for nothing. We cannot distort history in this Senate. We must be seen to have sentiments that reflect the average feeling of the average Nigerian. Professor Wosu, when it mattered most, his courage failed him. So often, with due respect to him, because it's now late, does not deserve to be immortalized as one of the very few Nigerians that have done the right thing. And I want to plead with my colleague. As I've said, I'm not speaking along the ethnicity line, along the party line, but I'm speaking as Nigeria. We witness the horrific moment. Thank you. Of Professor Wosu to carry out his assignment at the most critical time. I don't know what we are talking about. I wish Professor Wosu a journey mercy to the external world where he will rest in perfect peace. But this Senate should quickly run away from resolving converging complexities within the historical context of the Nigeria as a nation. Finally, Mr. President, I urge you, because history will be here today, and you are the one presiding, and Nigeria will ask you, is it true within your conscience that we should be naming a whole INEC, not even national honor post-mortem? We should read the whole INEC after one of his chairman who anointed the election of June 12, who couldn't even come up with a result.
However, other senators who spoke in favor of the motion said the chairman of the defunct NEC did courageously in conducting the most credible elections in the history of Nigeria, adding that if the June 12 elections did not hold, even against all odds, there would not be a result to clamor for. At the end of the argument, the prayers were put to voice vote by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Barau Jibril, as the first two prayers were not supported by the majority. Correspondent Rotimi Adewuyi reports that a 1-minute silence was observed to honor the former INEC chairman.
The struggle to revalidate that June 12 presidential election took a huge toll on Nigeria, including loss of lives. But now we have come back as a country to acknowledge that that election was the freest and ever conducted. And the president, Moshood Abiola, who was never returned, has been recognized as the winner of the election by the government of Nigeria. Thank you very much. Decorated with the highest honor, GCFR. Whereas the man who conducted the election has been left. The time is over. The others want to posthumously honor him with national honors. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. 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 Have it. Extend condolences to his family and recognize their sacrifice in support of his work towards a better Nigeria. Those in favor of this prayer, say aye. Those against say no. No. The ayes have it. 1 minute silence, please.
The late INEC chairman will be laid to rest tomorrow.